There's no bigger supporter in the world of family farmers than I am. Are they always right? No. But compared to the others, they're off the scale. But if you go, if we did this, if you had to have a carnivore's license, before you could go down and buy a fast food burger, you had to go and take a tour through a slaughterhouse, 98% of you would be hardcore vegan. You cannot imagine the cruelty in a slaughterhouse. And do you realize it's against the law? It's against the law to take a camera into a slaughterhouse? Now, here's something you'll find very interesting. We did this documentary that is on 800 PBS stations. We wanted to show in here what was going on in the slaughterhouse, but we couldn't legally take a camera into a slaughterhouse and show it. And if we got it from somebody like PETA with a secret camera, the minute we brought this out, they could have come and jerked them all off of the market. How do you deal with something like that? Well, we found a very ingenious way to do it. You will find some of the most graphic slaughterhouse footage you've ever seen here, and we did it under the Freedom of Information Act. Our government took cameras into the slaughterhouse, taking pictures so that they could train meat inspectors. We went to the government, filed Freedom of Information because you and I own that footage. We took that footage and we put it in here. It's completely legal and it is very graphic. But if anybody wants to tell you that there is humane treatment in a slaughterhouse, they're either smoking the #1 crop out of Pennsylvania or they're in the business. It does not happen. When you're standing knee-deep in blood and animals are flopping around, we do not kill the animal when we stun them. They don't want the animal to die when they stun them. They want the heart pumping so that they can hang them upside down, and the thing that kills them is when they cut their throat. They want it to pump the blood out. And so the lighter they sent the stunning, the better. And I'll tell you, if you go to a slaughterhouse and you see the animals bellowing, lashing around because they're fully conscious at the time they're cutting their throat, there's nothing about that I want any part of. I have well, here's something that will shock you. Autism, 1 out of every 94 boys born in America today has autism. It is 4 times more likely in boys than it is in girls, but across the board you can almost bet that 1 out of every 150 children born, 1 of them is going to have autism. Is it associated with the mercury? I don't know. Are we looking? No. Do they want to look? No. There are people that are concerned about vaccinations, and we keep being assured nothing to worry about. I remember when they said, if you had amalgam fillings in your mouth, nothing to worry about. Working with asbestos, nothing to worry about. The only time they lied is when their lips are moving. I would be very, very concerned. My youngest daughter just had a baby on the 21st of December. You can't imagine the counseling I forced on her. But it just scares me to death when I see the odds that are out there. And I think the worst thing about it is most Americans don't know. You know, when you ask somebody, what are the chances of your child having autism, they would think, you know, 1 in 1,000, you know, 1 in 150. That's scary.
Under common way when our government tests our cattle or the deer and the game commission tester and find it, how easy is it to clean the land?
Well, the first thing that I would tell you is that the government closed all of the testing labs except one. And I don't think that was accidental. I think that was to be able to control it. Every case that I know of that has been confirmed in the United States was confirmed accidentally. Well, actually, the chief lawyer at USDA, after USDA claimed that the sample they had from Texas was clear, he sent it to Scotland and the CJD surveillance lab, and they came back and said it was a full-blown case of mad cow disease after the Iowa test came back and said it was perfectly good. Do I trust the bureaucrats? No. Do I trust their testing? No.
But as far as cleaning it up and sterilizing the equipment, can be done.
They will not invite me into the lab. So I don't know. I will tell you that if you view this, I actually went in the CJD surveillance lab in Edinburgh, Scotland, and spent a number of hours there. I cannot get that same reciprocal treatment here in the U.S.
I know the tests are a lot more out of the state than do now.
Well, the interesting thing over there is that the ones they've tested so many different animals that I'll tell you, they know the difference between one that's infected and one that's not. I probably caught you as a captive longer than what you anticipated. I will stay and talk to anybody as long as they would like. I would like to thank you for the opportunity of being able to come here to Penn State. You have a marvelous school, and I think you ought to do what they do in most schools in California. In California, every major university has a full-time vegan food service. If you're going to almost any school in California, there is a food service there that the vegans can get full vegan meals 3 times a day, and I think that you ought to push for that to happen here at Penn State. Anyway, thank you very much for coming.